Evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. It's always an honor and a privilege to come before you every evening, chatting to you Thursday on our weekly live. Like we always try and do, we bring you the best of the best and we make an effort to find you the best people that we can chat to. And today I'm very excited because I am chatting to a bright Zimbabwean prospect. I am chatting to Liam Mudenda, and Liam has joined us tonight. Liam, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm doing good.
How's things going on your side there?
They're going good. Nothing really. Just now, we've gone into our holiday, so just relaxing.
I can imagine. And you've recently moved down to South Africa. How has that move been?
It's been a good experience. Really fun and it's different, but it's really fun here.
And having just moved, you said it's different, and we're in the middle of COVID and all this online learning. How are you coping with all of that?
Well, we didn't really do a lot of online learning. We only did like a week, and then we went straight back into school at Saints. But online is really, I don't really like online school. I prefer going to school rather.
Brilliant. You rather than me, I would love online learning. And you say you've gone to Saints. How's that gone? Obviously, it's a new school. Have you made any new friends?
Yeah, I've made a couple of friends, and it's going good. It's a really nice school, and I'm really enjoying it there.
Fantastic. Now, Liam, this goes very quickly. We've got half an hour. So I'm going to try get through as much as we can in that half an hour. And just to start off with, I know we were here, we're going to sit and talk about cricket, but tell me, has it always been cricket for you?
Well, no, not really, because when I was in grade R, I wanted to be a professional soccer player. Um, when I was still like when I was 5, and then when I was I think 8 or 7, that's when I started playing cricket, and it's been cricket since then.
Wow, professional soccer player. We could have been having a whole different conversation now. And you say cricket. How did it start for you? What do you remember of it?
Well, I just remember watching like cricket on TV one day, and it was really fascinating. So I just decided to try playing cricket, and I went for a few lessons, and I really enjoyed it. And from there, I started playing cricket like pretty much my whole life.
Your whole life. Yeah, I know. It's a long time for you to remember way back when you started. And you said obviously you've watched it on TV. Now, where did you start? At school, or where did it start for you?
Started at home when I just saw like I was just watching TV. Then I just clicked on a sports channel. Then I saw a cricket match playing, and I decided to watch it. And it was really interesting, and I enjoyed like watching the sports. So I tried it, and yeah, it's basically where it started.
And if I'm not mistaken, you were at Whitestone Primary School.
Yes, I
So
was.
I, I would assume you then went on and played for Whitestone.
Yes. Well, in grade 3, we didn't really play, like there were no teams. It was just tennis ball cricket. And then in grade 4, it was now the A team and the B team and the C team. And I made it in grade 4. I made it into the A team where I was playing with the grade 5s that year.
So, because I have a little bit of local knowledge, Liam, I do know that at Whitestone, if you score 100, they do plant a tree for you. I don't know if they still do it now. How many trees do you have at Whitestone?
I think I have 2 trees at Whitestone. One in grade 5, where I made in South Africa in Clifton, when we came on tour, and then one in grade 6 where I made in at Whitestone against Victoria Falls.
Okay, so you started scoring those hundreds pretty early. And I want to go into that conversation just now because everyone on the social media has been abuzz about how many hundreds you've scored. So for those who've just tuned in and don't know how many hundreds Liam has scored, we are going to jump into that just now. But now, Liam, you've played at Whitestone, you've learned your craft, you've then gone on to high school and you've gone to CBC. There's I always turn back, there's Falcon, there's all these other schools. Why did you choose CBC out of all the schools?
Well, what happened was Falcon had offered me to go to the school, but I didn't really want to go to Falcon because I didn't want to do boarding because I can't go for like extra cricket like lessons, one-on-ones, which have really helped me. One-on-ones are really important. That's why I didn't go to Falcon, and I chose CBC because I can still go for one-on-ones and still practice like privately.
And while we're there talking about these one-to-ones, and I'm sure everyone is interested, Liam, how old are you? I haven't told the viewers today how old you are. How old are you?
13.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got Liam Mudenda here, who is 13 years old, and he's smashing it already. Now, and you've spoken about these one-to-ones. What is your training regime like?
Well, I also when I was at TBC and Whitestone, I had school sports. I also used to play tennis and a lot of other sports. So whenever I had free time, I would basically like use it to play cricket like all the time. Like if I have a free day where I don't have sports, I'd go from like 2 to 5 and just be in the nets training.
So school in the morning, training in the
Uh,
afternoon, essentially.
yeah.
Wow. Wow. How does that all fit together? You've got school, you've got studies, you've got homework. How do you make it all work?
Well, it's hard, but just make time for every like you just have to use your time wisely and make time for school also because school is very important. Well, school comes before sports, so first you have to make time for school, and then you can in your free time you can play sports.
Okay, that's a nice outlook you've got there. And this is the moment that most people who've tuned in have been waiting for. And I'm going to ask you, how many hundreds have you scored?
13.
13. Liam is 13 years old. He has scored 1300. How have you managed to score 1300s when you're only 13 years old?
I don't know, to be honest.
Brilliant. And do you remember when your first one was?
Yes, I do. It was in grade 5 when we went on tour at Clifton, and I got it off like the second last ball. It was a T20.
Wow. Second last ball, T20, and you've smashed it. And you're saying this is only in grade 5,
Yes.
and you're scoring hundreds already in grade 5. Wow, that's amazing, Liam. And I had a little chuckle because there was someone who put a comment in on our Twitter feed, and they said that already you've scored more hundreds than they've scored already. And this guy's well into his 30s and he's played a fair bit of cricket. So you're really doing well for yourself. So amongst those 1300s, which one is your most memorable 100, would you say?
My This my first one probably because there was games before where I came out on 98 and like 90s in the 90s, so it just felt like really good to get over the 100 mark, and it just felt really good. My first 100 was my favorite so far, I think.
Brilliant. The first one is your favorite. And you say that. And look, for anyone watching out there, be it young or old, but how do you consistently score these hundreds? What is the secret?
Well, I don't give away my wicket. Like, just don't give away your wicket and be patient. Like just wait for the bad ball. And yeah, just don't give away my wicket is my main thing when I bat. My main term when I bat.
You say that, Liam, but I've seen your CV. I've seen some of your stats, and you scored quite a high strike rate. Um, and you're saying don't give away your wicket. And how do you balance that between the risk and then scoring the runs?
Well, I just put away the bad balls, like a bad ball that I know I back myself to hit it for 6 or 4. And I just pick the gaps and make sure not to have too many dots and like just try not to put yourself under pressure and like just rotate the strike and just put away the bad balls.
I love that, and I love how you've put that because there's always so many bad balls in between, and you're saying that you make sure you cash in on those bad ones and you're keeping out the good ones, which is brilliant. If you've mastered that at 13 years old, it's interesting to see just how far you will go. And in saying that, Liam, what's your dream? What's your cricketing dream?
My dream is to play for South Africa, or Zim, any country is fine, but to make it into the IPL, to be in the IPL and just to score runs and maybe make the most runs in the IPL, something along those lines.
So I've snuck in a question there that a lot of people on social media were asking. They were saying, okay, he's young, he's Zimbabwean, he's in school in South Africa at the moment. What national team does he want to play for? And you've given me two. You've given me South Africa first, and then you've given me Zimbabwe after. Is there a reason to this preference?
Well, pretty much because I would rather at the moment play for South Africa because they get more game time and like play against bigger like teams like India, England, Australia, those teams. Unlike with Zimbabwe, where they only play for like they don't play against big teams and they don't get like as much game time as South Africa. So at the moment, I'd rather play for South Africa to get more game time and to play against better teams.
Look, for a second there, I thought I've thrown the youngster under a bus, but you've answered that brilliantly. Like that is a top answer that you've given, and it's sad to hear, for the sports lover, for the cricket lover, to hear a youngster like you're 13 years old already pointing out, a few cracks within the Zimbabwean setup. And look, I know there's people working tirelessly to make that right and to give opportunity to young people like you. So yeah, hats off to you. You've made a very important point. And like you said, you want to develop and be the best that you can be. So there's nothing more we can ask for from you. And IPL, those are pretty big boots, eh?
Yeah.
And look, like your strike rates at the moment, they speak to you definitely being able to smash that. And what steps have you set out, do you think, to get you there?
Well, every day I tell myself to work hard and train like every free opportunity I get to train and work on my weaknesses and try not to try to work on my weaknesses and just so I don't have any weaknesses and just be the best I can be and do the best. And yeah.
Look, there's already questions coming in, Liam. People already have lots of questions they want to ask you, and I will get to them. I just want to acknowledge that I have seen them. For anyone who's just joined us, we've got Liam Mudenda, who's here with us on the live tonight. Liam is a young Zimbabwean lad who is 13 years old. He scored 1300s already in his career. What a feat. And, the world is oyster at the moment. Liam, every time I say that, I'm just in awe. I just sit back and think, wow, 1300s already at this tender age. And look, that cap keeps getting my attention. What does that cap say?
Well, it says Old Mutual and it's from it's from Heat Streak Academy. Well, basically where I became the player that I am, where I always used to train, I would go there like every day, train, and I've been playing I used to play for that club since I was like I think 6 or 7.
I'll remind you, you were 6. You were 6. In case this video ever goes viral, I'll just throw it in the you were 6, and I probably was one of your first coaches.
I think you were my first coach, actually.
I'm just throwing it in there in case when you go viral that I can claim it. But anyway, you've spoken about the Heat Streak Academy, and that is a fantastic setup that's been put together in Bulawayo. And I know there's people behind the scenes. Heat Streak puts his heart and soul into it, and there's people making things work there. What was your experience there like? And I know you did a few tours to India and other places. How was that for you?
It was a good experience. Like I really enjoyed India, especially because it was very hard conditions to bat in, but it was a good experience to see how the players are there, and the spinners there are really good and difficult to face there. And I just enjoyed Heat Streak. They do a lot of tours, and I really enjoyed the club.
Fantastic. And shout out to any young people, any parents watching out there. Heat Streak Cricket Academy is in Bulawayo. And if you want your son or daughter to become like Liam, send him over there. It seems like that's the magic trick. Liam, look, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to post in your questions at this point in time. I will try to get to as many of them as I can. I can see there's quite a few in the chat, but I'll go with the first one. The first one comes from a guy called Andy Finland. Andy, shout out to you. Andy watches us every week. And Andy is asking, how important a role have your parents played in your development?
A very big role, like a very big, because my parents have done like pretty much everything for me in my cricket career, and just out of my cricket career in my life, and they've played a very big role in my cricket career, and they've just helped me to be where I am right now with the advice they give me and everything. They back me and played a massive role in my cricket career.
100%. I'll definitely attest to that, and I know your mom and dad are always shuttling you across the city, and now you are in South Africa, and you're at St Stithians College, if I'm not mistaken, which is a top school that, and you've already scored 200s for St Stithians. And how long have you been there?
Well, not long. We've only played like 6 games.
So you've played 6 games for Saints, and you've already knocked off 200s. Wow, Liam, I don't know what you're eating, but I'm sure I would like to try a bit of that.
Yeah.
I'm looking back in the chat here, just to see the next question here. Again, it's from Andy, and Andy's asking, would you use the IPL as a stepping stone to the longer format of cricket, one-day cricket or test cricket?
Both, because I want to play all 3 formats. I want to play T20, ODI, and Test. I want to both of them. I can't really pick between the 2.
It's actually refreshing to hear a young man talk about wanting to actually play one-day cricket and test cricket. A lot of the youngsters nowadays just talk about just the IPL or just about 2020 cricket, and that's about it. So to hear you talk about test cricket is definitely a breath of fresh air. And yeah, please do keep that up. We'll definitely be keen to see you in international colors. Now I'm going to pop off again. There's another question that's come through. It's from Wanga Mashabane. Wanga says, or I should say Wonga, because I was corrected last week. He's someone we had on the show recently. And he says, firstly, well done, young man. Unbelievable numbers. But what is most impressive is how well spoken and comfortable you are. So well done to you. And then he then asked the question, with those numbers, surely you must be attracting a lot of attention. There's 2 questions. The first one is, how do you handle that attention?
Well, when people like say, you're so good at cricket and stuff like that, I just say thank you. I try to stay as humble as I can and don't try like brag and like bring attention to myself, and just stay humble.
Stay humble. I love that. And with everything you've said, with the numbers you've said, Liam, you shouldn't even be sitting on that chair. You should be floating somewhere up in the sky. And very, very humble you are, and very proud of you for that. And the second part of the question was the expectations. Obviously, you have high expectations for yourself, and people also have high expectations for you. How do you handle that?
Well, like they do have like really high expectations for me, but when I'm batting and like they expect me to like score 100, I just put that all aside and just focus. And I don't like, if they like telling me you score 100, I just put all of that aside and just try focus and zone in and try and cash in and score runs.
And we've spoken a lot about your batting, but do you bowl as well?
Not really. It's mainly a batsman.
Not really. It sounds like there's something behind that. Is there some part-time spin or some part-time seam that you bowl?
Well, part-time spin, but the thing is, I don't really work on my spin bowling a lot because I don't really get a lot of time to train now, like because we finish school kind of late. So when I go to cricket, I mainly focus on my batting because in the team that's what I'm there for. Because we've got a lot of other spinners, bowlers, and I'm mainly there for batting. So I try focus on my batting when I go to training. And if I have spare time, like a lot of spare time, I'll try bowl a bit also. So I try balance it as much as possible.
Fantastic. And we've just had another comment come in from Elizabeth Roebuck. And Elizabeth, hi, how are you? She says, great to hear from you. And she says, best of luck to you and happy Easter.
Thank you. Same to her.
Fantastic. And Liam, look, you've said a lot. And to me, like you've spoken about not having time to bowl, which makes sense. If you're busy scoring 1300s, then you wouldn't have much time for anything else. And you've gone on and you've spoken a lot about what you've done and how you've done it. But who inspires you, Liam?
Virat Kohli is my favorite cricket player because when I started watching cricket, like I saw like I started watching cricket. I don't know which match it was, but a few matches later I saw India versus I think it was Australia, and I saw him playing, and the way he batted was just like so. It was like I really enjoyed his technique and we were born on the same day, so that just made me like.
Wow. Wow, look at that. Born on the same day as Virat Kohli. I wonder if Virat Kohli at 13 had scored 1300. I really should look that up. Hey, that would be quite interesting. Look, he's not at all a bad role model. He's not a bad role model at all. He's not doing too bad for himself. He scores runs now and again, doesn't he?
Mm.
No, fantastic. And do you have any local cricketing heroes?
Well, a few, because Coach Chris Mpofu coached me, and he ended up playing for Zim, so I look up to him a lot also.
Yeah, he's not a bad guy to look up to. He's he's probably watching this and having a little chuckle, but definitely, Chris is a local boy who has a brilliant story. He's been on the show and we got to learn so much about him. And a lot of the locals call him Magwegwe Express. He's done very well for himself, and a shout out to him. I'm looking into the chat again, and I see Stanislas Rukatas just said, keep it up, Liam. So a shout out to him. And it's brilliant that people are watching you from all over the place, and just how humble you are is just what keeps blowing me away. I'm just busy looking through the chat again. People always throw in a message and a few questions now and again. And Leah, I'm just reading up on you, and from a bit of local knowledge as well, I'm told you have a younger sister who also plays.
Yes. I do. She started playing cricket earlier than me. I think she started playing when she was 5 or 4, and she is good at cricket. She is really good at cricket, and I want to see where she will go with her cricket career. I'm interested, and my parents always say that she'll be better than me. So I want to see.
Well. If she scores 1300s at 13 years old, then okay, she might just be a little bit better than you. Hey. You can have bragging rights for now. Liam, you've done amazing and fantastic things. And I've just seen a question come in now. And the question is, what bat are you using? What make is it?
I'm using a SS a ton. I started using it I think in grade 7 when I went to India. The coach there, Coach VJ, recommended it, and I was like, at first I thought that MRF was just the best bat and like it's the best, and then he told me that it's just the stickers on the bat and you should try the ton, and I used it, and it really did really good for me, and I continued to use it. And then a couple of my friends, I recommended it for them, and they started using it, and they also started doing well. And I'm using an SS, a Harrow size, a ton.
Well, who wouldn't listen to you if you've knocked 1300s already? So if anyone's watching there, you want to score 1300s, get an SS ton like Liam, and then, Bob's your uncle. It's just going to roll on like that. No, Liam, look, there's a lot of young boys and girls who are going to watch this. There's boys and girls watching this as we speak. Now, what words of advice would you have for them around their sport? It doesn't have to be cricket.
If you enjoy if you really want to do well in something, put 100% into it and work hard, and the results will come. Just work hard and wait for your time and be patient.
Wise you are. And I'm just blown away. Last week we had a 17-year-old, Madison Landsman, absolutely phenomenal as well. And you've come on here and such wise heads. And I'm not surprised that you're both doing so well at your cricket. So hats off to you and a big shout out to you. I'm looking here again in the chat. The question just came through. It's a comment, I think. I'm in absolute awe of this young man. I'll be following his career very closely. Thanks for having him. That's from Wanga Mashabani. No pressure, more fans for you. Now, Liam, I know we're about to run out of time. And for you, obviously, 13 with the world's your oyster as we speak. And do you, as things stand now, do you have an agent? Do you have someone driving your cricket for you as we speak?
No, only my dad, really. I don't have like anyone else driving my cricket or anything. Just my dad started to help me when I was like a little boy, and I just follow his words and listen to his advice, and he has really wise words and I use them, and all the advice that I get from people, I take it into consideration and I try it and see the results.
Your dad's a role model. Absolutely fantastic. And if, having someone like that by your side is great to hear. And if anyone's watching out there, and I'm sure lots of agencies as we speak are probably lining you up and hoping to get to you. And I'm sure good things will come your way. But like you said, you will remain patient and you will keep working hard. So from our side, we are immensely proud of you. And just like everyone, even on the socials and everyone is abuzz about Liam, who's Liam? They want to know so much more about you. And you've taken time out and given us a little insight into your world. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me.
It's an absolute pleasure, Liam, and all the best in the future. And we want to hear you get to 100 hundreds like Sachin Tendulkar. Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, That's all we have time for tonight. We've had Liam Mudenda here on the show. Liam, 13-year-old cricketing sensation as things stand. And we are in 2021, in case someone watches this video in 10 years' time. And Liam's gone all the way. And we wish him all the best. He's come out, he's spoken so well. And we are actually going to leave him to close off the show for us tonight. So, Liam, over to you.
Thank you guys for watching, and hope you enjoy your holidays and Easter. And thank you all for tuning in. And thank you for having me. Thank you.
Cheers, Liam. Absolutely fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, have yourselves a wonderful Easter. Keep safe. COVID is still a reality. Keep your social distancing. Keep your masks on. Sanitize those hands. Look after your loved ones, and see you again. Same place, same time next week. From my side, it's goodbye and keep safe.
Thank you.